So we'll come back to the Bodhicharyavatara. We are going through the 9th chapter, and now we are on stanza number 40. Now from there, some questions and debates about whether it's absolutely necessary to have the experience of emptiness in order to, become enlightened or to be free from all kind of suffering permanently. So now the question asked is, we are free, you say, through seeing the Four Truths. What use is it to us, this view of emptiness? So some, Sarvakayana people ask this question, Sarvakayana sometimes is explained as 4 different kinds of Sarvakas. There are Sarvakas who are what we call as Tulku, Nyentu, emanated Sarvakas, who has been receiving teachings from the Buddha, has been there, and who were actually very enlightened and emanations of great bodhisattvas and things like that. There are those kind of Sarvakas also. Then there are Sarvakas who are, totally, seeing the truth and has become, highly realized beings. Then there are Sarvakas also who are very, who are on the path of, who are studying and on the path and, genuinely interested in the path and, practicing the teachings of the Buddha. And then there are some Sarvakas who are also a little bit too much sectarian, and who thinks that their system, their view, is the only thing that is correct, and the rest of the teachings of the Buddha or different schools of Dharma are not correct. So this is basically the question asked by the 4th group. So they say that, we become free from samsara by seeing the 4 Noble Truths. 4 Noble Truths, practice of 4 Noble Truths. And so therefore, and in the 4 Noble Truths, Buddha didn't discuss emptiness, shunyata. So what's the use of shunyata? There's no need of any shunyata for becoming free from samsara and becoming enlightened. But as the scriptures have themselves proclaimed, without this path there can be no enlightenment. Then the answer from the Mahayana is that yes, there is no a clear or no particular word shunyata used in teaching or explaining the 4 Noble Truths. But there are lots of sutras of the Buddha which explained the understanding of shunyata, emptiness, in very great detail. And there Buddha said that unless you experience and understand this, then you cannot become enlightened. So therefore, it is actually, the shunyata is actually nothing more than, clear, what can you say, expansion and explanation of the shunyata. Shunyata is also, clearly explaining and expansion of the Four Noble Truths. So therefore, if you really have to totally, get to the bottom of the Four Noble Truths also, you have to understand shunyata, because you have to understand the cessation and the path, and if you have to do that, then you have to get there too. But then, in stanza number 41, you said the Mahayana has no certainty. But so then those Shervakas say that, yes, it is said like that in Mahayana Sutras, but it's only said in Mahayana Sutras. And Mahayana Sutras there is no certainty that Mahayana Sutras are authentic teachings of the Buddha. So, that doesn't count. That those quotations or those, you can't say that because it is explained in Mahayana Sutras that has to be true, or that has to be authentic understanding or express or the teachings of the Buddha. But how do you substantiate your own tradition? Then Shantideva asks, how do you, the followers of, the fourth kind of followers of Sarvakas, make substantiate, totally prove that your teachings or sutras of Sarvakayana teachings are truly authentic and the teachings of the Buddha. Because it is accepted by both parties, you will say. It is proved the Sarvakayana teachings are completely teachings of the Buddha, because there is no doubt, there's no argument. We Sarvakayana people also know that it is authentic teaching of the Buddha, and nobody from the Mahayana tradition also argue or debate or make any allegations that they are not proper teachings of the Buddha. Then to that, but at the outset you yourself lacked proof. But that doesn't mean that there is proof that Sarvakayana teachings are authentic teachings of the Buddha. Just because that both of us agree that it is the teachings of the Buddha and authentic teachings doesn't mean that it is proven that it is the authentic teachings of the Buddha. Then, stanza number 42. The reasons why you trust in your tradition may likewise be applied to Mahayana. Why they say that, it is, of course, all the sutras that we have, Sarvakayana sutras, are completely, authentic teachings of the Buddha, because we have received it from our own authentic teachers, and they have received from their own authentic teachers, and they receive from their own authentic teachers, and it goes back up to the Buddha. And they have themselves practiced, and they have themselves also, experienced the result of those teachings in their own experience. So therefore, there is absolutely no doubt about that. Then Shantideva says, may likewise be applied to Mahayana. That is same with the Mahayana also. We have received those Mahayana sutras and Mahayana instructions and Mahayana teachings from our authentic teachers. They have received from their authentic teachers. They have received from their authentic teachers. It goes back to to the Buddha. And great people, all these great masters have studied, have practiced those teachings and got results out of those teachings, and not only through the lineage history, but also through the practice, and also through investigation. Whatever way we investigate it, there is no doubt that they are all the authentic teachings of the Buddha. So we have the same reasons, or same type of reasons why we see that our teachings or our sutras are authentic as yours. Then stanza number 43. Mahayana is at fault, you see, because it is contested. He said that no, that's not the same. Because Mahayana teachings, or the Mahayana sutras, there have been people who have contested, who have said, who have made allegations that they are false. They are not real teachings of the Buddha. It was made up, and it was propagated as teachings of the Buddha, but actually they were not actual teachings of the Buddha. So it's something that has been contested, that has been the allegations about that. So therefore it's not the same, because there was not any allegations of this kind for our teachings. Then Shantideva said, but Buddhist texts are questioned by extremists. It's not true that Sarvakayana teachings were never questioned. Some extremists, some Tathankas, some they are in India. India had like 360 different philosophical schools, and many different type of teachings and different type of schools. So some of them questions about the Mahayana sutras also. And not only that, but while Buddhists also vie among themselves, there are also many different schools of Sarvakayana, and they also have lots of debates among themselves, so therefore what I'm saying is that just because that somebody contested or somebody made an allegation, these are not true teachings of the Buddha or not authentic teachings does not make them unauthentic. And if, because somebody made an allegation or made a contest that these sutras or these teachings are not authentic true dhammas, or they are not authentic teachings of the Buddha, there are two things. One is that it is an authentic teaching of the Buddha, and another is maybe it's taught by the Buddha, but it's not authentic. It's not really a good path or true teaching or true path to the freedom of people. So if that is the case, that if you have to abandon something that you hold very dear or very precious to yourself, because somebody made an allegation that that's not authentic, then you have to also abandon your own, Mahayana, Sarvakayana teachings, and also and then this is 44. The true monk is the root of Dharma. And to be a monk is difficult indeed. It's hard for minds enmeshed in thoughts to pass beyond the bonds of suffering. So if you say that in order to in order that a true teaching of the Buddha or true teaching Dharma is proven or is authentic, then it has to be, that you have to be a true monk, or you have to, the teaching has to be according to the Vinaya, and people have to live according to the teachings of the Vinaya, according to the sutras, and according to the Abhidhamma, and all these kind of things. Then only Dhamma is true. So if the true monk is the root of Dhamma, and to be a monk is difficult indeed, what is a true monk? A true monk is not so easy to authenticate also. It's not just, wearing the robes. It's not just, behaving socially in a certain way only. A monk has to be free from, negative emotions, negative actions, and have to have the right view. So it has to have these three trainings. So therefore, it is hard for minds enmeshed in thoughts to pass beyond the bonds of suffering. Our, samsaric people, if you are samsaric people, to go beyond this, if we are not free from our, thoughts, all the kind of kleshas and, also the habitual tendencies of the kleshas, then it is very difficult to go beyond all the sufferings, to have no suffering. And here it's important to understand that if you can be in a good meditation, for instance, and for a while maybe all your mind poisons are calmed down, or it's kind of almost not there. But as long as you have the, you have not perfected your view that everything that you experience is not truly existing on its own, and they are like illusions, and that your own self is also like illusions, and totally free yourself from, from these wrong views, or from this ignorance, completely clearly. It is not possible that you have, you can end your suffering, because if you see that all the things that is there, all the things that you see and all yourself is truly there, then you have to have again, aversion, attachment, and all the experiences of your negative emotions can come back, and that can never be totally uprooted unless you truly directly experience the nature of emptiness, that everything that you experience, either your own identity of self and all your experiences, your mind included, as well as everything that arises in front of you, you experience, all of them are truly, unsubstantial, mirage-like, illusion-like, and there's nothing you have to be attached or you have to be have aversion to. Unless that understanding and experience becomes extremely clear, you cannot totally, free yourself from all sufferings. So say that is the 44. So I'll just read out the Tibetan. Denpa tongwi tronjirji, tongyun tongwi jihisa. Konshir lonli lamda na mepar shonje mepar song. Kalte teche madribna, chujun lon jatarjib, jeti. Konshir iga landa, chujun lon jatarjib, konshir iga landa jib, Rinpoche landa madrib, jengong kina teriye chi. Tene teche lan yung song. Yenin döpi denana rije sochu dembrchir. Techen tsuchi shirhena lola metepa nando longyen lan yu rongyen ta tsuchi yin se tojanchir. Ngo kondo de lan ju te kade sonji sonde na techen pache checho kondo don sonde monamche. Kate mato jige na tangche shuendo jenchina donso jige tangche na javi sonba chi mai. ngakong öson chembala sopi tempo majirba teni cheche matope sonja mambasi. These are actually, I think, not in this English translation, because there's some debate about whether these are originally from the text or not. Tenza gino nyoyana geno to nyecho kawarni. Sende mito chinamche nyanyende kawarni. So this is the last one. So we did up to here. I think it is up to stanza number 44. Thank you.